everybody, it's Nicola Elliott again from New Leaf, and I am here today at Strengthel Meadows in Martinez, and I am with Soumya, who is a National Park Ranger at the John Muir House, and she is here today and she's going to tell us about native plants and how they affect our groundwater.
So let's talk about the Strengthel Creek. So the Strengthel Creek is part of the Alhambra Creek watershed, and that is a series of creeks that are up here near Martinez and the surrounding areas. So this creek is pretty important when you think about groundwater, because when you have flooding that happens in a creek bed or just in like a meadow like this, a lot of the times that doesn't go towards groundwater. And the reason that you want native plants around when you have creeks around is because native plants will help the soil become more permeable for groundwater. So when there's flooding and rain, there will be more water that actually goes through the soil down into the groundwater table. And that is helped along by the fact that native plants and their roots help soil become a bit more aerated and help the soil kind of filter out nutrients and pollutants so that the groundwater is actually very...
Water is stored in spaces between particles of sand and gravel, and in cracks or spaces in rock. The ability to hold water on these spaces is called porosity. An aquifer is the sand, gravel, or rock that holds the water. Groundwater is one of the nation's most valuable natural resources. Some call it nature's own savings account. It occurs almost everywhere beneath the Earth's surface and is a major source of water supply worldwide. Groundwater has a crucial role during long dry periods. Did you notice that more water was able to fit into the cup that held just gravel? That means it has more porosity. It has more space between the particles that can be filled with water. So how do you get to that groundwater? I have two large beakers here, topped with funnels. One funnel contains the pea-sized gravel and the other just sand. I'm now going to pour water into the container through the gravel and through the sand. You can see that there was more water traveling through the gravel because the spaces are large. That means the gravel has greater permeability. With greater permeability, more water can be obtained from the groundwater source, the aquifer.
All right, everyone, now that we know what groundwater is, let's go ahead and filter some water to make it drinkable for us. What I've done so far is I've gone out and I got 100 milliliters of water, clean water that I got, and I made it really dirty. I mean, this is gross, right? What we're going to be doing is we're going to make our own water filter. First thing we need is a funnel. My funnel is going to be just an empty water bottle, and I'm going to cut the bottom of the water bottle off, leaving the cap end intact. I'm going to use an X-Acto knife. Now, I'm going to use this very carefully, and I want you to do the same. What I want you to do is when you use a sharp object, like Jasper says, keep it away from you and have an adult present when using a sharp object, including scissors or anything else to cut the bottom of this off. And now we have our funnel. Take one of your coffee filters, and you are going to first fold it about 2 times like this, because the more layers we have, the better the filter effect will work. I'm going to put it on the bottom here, hold it up, and I'm going to use one of the rubber bands that came with our kit, and I'm going to tie it so that way the filter stays on the bottom. What you can do now is, because we have extra, I'm actually going to try to tear some of this extra off. There we go. because I'm gonna put this extra inside the bottle, inside our filter. Again, we're adding more layers. So I'm gonna go ahead and just throw those there at the bottom, and that's going to help keep the water filter in check. The next thing I'm going to add is our activated charcoal. A good amount of charcoal. That's about the amount you all have in your boxes. Now I'm going to add our first layer, which is going to be sand. So let me go ahead and pour this in here very carefully. Now I'm going to add our gravel. This is going to take some time and some patience, so don't rush it because we want to be able to have this water to be clean and drinkable for us. So don't rush it. Remember, if your water's coming through dirty, run it through the filter a couple more times to get it as clean as possible. And remember, don't drink it.